Hello and welcome. This is Christy Gammon, doTERRA Wellness Advocate and team leader of Team Share and Shine. If you're joining me live in the Zoom classroom this evening, I'm thrilled to have you here with me. Or if you're catching this recording at a time that's convenient for you, then I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you also. Tonight's class is Essential Oils Made Easy, and I hope you enjoy it. I am just going to share my screen so that we can use this presentation to guide our time tonight. There's the view we want. And let's jump in. The goal of this class is to empower you. And you can see there we have 3 intentions for this class tonight. You see a lot of 3s. Just a really easy way to organize the information. 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways to use your oils, and there will be 3 ways to get oils into your home. And I just want to be real with you tonight. I don't know if you've ever felt like you just didn't really have it in you to do something. And I just want to put the cards on the table and say sometimes that's how I feel too. And wouldn't life be easy and just grand if I always felt motivated, if I always felt at the absolute peak of my own physical and mental wellness? Wouldn't that just be perfect? But I'm a human being just like anyone else, and I assume you are all real live human beings joining me tonight. And so I just want to encourage you that in the midst of maybe allergy season, we're definitely experiencing some seasonal threats in our home. It's been a rainy, kind of cool, breezy day, stirring things up. You might be able to hear a little something in my voice as that continues to work itself out. And on these just typical gray Central Ohio days, you know, you just need a little boost sometimes. And so I was having a day where I just felt like, I don't really want to teach tonight. I just would rather curl up on the couch and read a book or watch a movie or hang out with my daughter in any case. And I thought, well, that's, irresponsible. Because when you make a commitment, you want to honor that commitment and you want to show up and do your best and have excellence in everything you do. That's how I feel. And so the point of me sharing all of this is that amidst things that are maybe heavy or not ideal, I always feel empowered. And so a few simple things that I did were reaching for citrus oils to boost my mood and reaching for just a very simple combination of lemon, lavender, and peppermint to help with this seasonal discomfort that I'm feeling. And then following those with some eucalyptus, which is known as the oil of wellness, and just breathing that in and allowing it to open up my lungs and just help me feel better and get my mind around doing what I know what is best and what I really want to do. And that's to honor my commitment and to share the goodness of everything these essential oils have to offer and how they absolutely empower us to help us get through whatever life is throwing at us and just operate on a regular basis as our best selves. And so that's the kind of empowerment that I have to offer you tonight. And I just wanted to let you know that I model it on a regular basis, the moving through whatever life throws at me. And I always feel empowered and encouraged that I have natural things right at my fingertips to help me. And so my ultimate goal is to help you feel that same way. So let's focus, and this is going to be the bulk of our time is spent looking at this slide, and I'm not going to read it to you. I'm going to share some other interesting information. I just have a few notes that I'm going to reference, but we're going to cover 3 cool things about essential oils, starting with cool thing number 1 is that they are safe. Essential oils are either steam distilled or cold pressed from all parts of plants and trees and citrus fruits. And when we're talking about doTERRA essential oils, which of course we are tonight, we know that they're harvested sustainably where these plants grow indigenously on the planet. And I want to introduce to you our model of harvesting essential oils, which is called co-impact sourcing. And it's like none other in the marketplace. There's no other essential oil company, excuse me, that's using the co-impact sourcing model. And that's because it's not the easiest way to obtain your essential oils, but I think you'll agree with me that it's the best way. So not only do we get to benefit from the highest quality, purest, most potent essential oils when we work with these growers and harvesters and distillers all over the world, but then we get to turn around and give something back, whether that means economic development or infrastructure like roads. We help build medical clinics. We deliver clean water. We make sure that kids, girls too, get to go to school, and on and on and on, depending what that community is most in need of. doTERRA gets to come alongside and bless and just lift people up. And it's just such an honor and a privilege to know what's behind each and every one of these beautiful brown bottles. And so I could go on, but I promise I won't. I want you to instead take a few moments of your own to visit a website that is source2you.com. And that's spelled out source, S-O-U-R-C-E, to T-O-U-Y-O-U.com. And those three words are run together. There's no spaces. So source2you.com. One half of the website details the science behind the bottle, and you get to look at the testing by batch based on the little number you'll find on the bottle of any of doTERRA's single essential oils. The other side of the site, you will get introduced to this co-impact sourcing model. And so you'll start to understand the brains behind our company and why it's the smartest way to go about harvesting these purest, most potent oils on the planet. And then as they tell you these beautiful stories of how we give back through co-impact sourcing, you're also going to come in touch with the heart of our company. So you may want to grab some tissues for that. Choose any story you like. I guarantee they will all touch your heart. They're just beautiful. But I won't go on and on, I promise. I just want to end with saying that we really highly value our purity and our potency. And the way that we do that is through the gold standard in essential oils. Our CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, is the highest quality of essential oil you can buy. Our ownership looked at the market, looked at the FDA. There wasn't a quality standard that was high enough to meet our standards, so we created our own. And we are, to this day, the only company that follows this standard. It's made up of 8 categories, more than 50 tests that are conducted not only by third-party sources that are outside separate from doTERRA, but we also have tons more testing that we do internally just to assure that what you're getting in every single bottle of essential oil that you buy is something that you can count on, not just one time, but over and over to deliver the results that you come to expect. So look for that CPTG standard in terms of quality and consistency. And I will just mention a couple little safety tips. You would never want to put your essential oils in your eye, up your nose, or in your ear. And what I like to do if you're having discomfort in your eye is to follow the bone structure of the face and apply your essential oil according to your own bone structure. And if you follow that, then you're not going to get anything too close to the eye. And similarly, if you're having an ear discomfort, you can apply the essential oil around the outside of the ear, or you can use a cotton ball, put a couple drops of oil on that, and then nest it in the ear. One other point that I wanted to make with regard to safety, as our weather, please, dear God, starts to improve and we're getting out more and taking walks and getting in the garden and playing, then you just want to be careful with any sun sensitive or photosensitive oils, and they're all marked on the bottles. Our citrus oils are all giveaways for photosensitivity or sun sensitivity. You just either want to put them on parts of your body like the palms of your hands or the bottoms of your feet, anything that's not exposed, just anything that's covered by your clothing. Or if you want to put them, say, on your neck or on your arm, something that would typically be exposed in nice weather, you just want to wait 12 hours before you go out into direct sunlight. And let's open up. If you have oils in your home already, I would love for you to get these out and experience them with me. This class is great for someone who's just beginning. So if you don't have any oils in your home, then turn on your imagination to its fullest, and I will give you a few maybe descriptors of each oil so you can just try to go there in your senses and imagine what this would be like. But for those of you who are here to just brush up on your oils, get a little refresher, get them out and experience them with me. We're going to start with peppermint, which is there on your screen. Just open up the bottle, take a little inhale. And peppermint, I always like to think of that Peppermint Patty commercial from Days Gone By, where, you know, they're on the ski slopes and they say it's just like whooshing down the mountain. That's peppermint to me. It's just very refreshing. It's very cool and energizing, a little tingly feeling. And so I'm just going to take a drop. If we were in a live class, we would pass this bottle around. There it comes. I'm just going to take one drop and rub it together in my palms. Breathe it in. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my neck. You can see there on your screen what a few things that peppermint is good for. And as I mentioned, if we were having a class right now, we would all begin by just smelling it out of the bottle, and I often diffuse a combination of peppermint and wild orange together. Peppermint and lemon are also excellent together because they both will help you to focus. And so they're great homework oils for anyone doing homework or study or work from home. If you're looking for a little assistance in maintaining your focus, either peppermint by itself or paired with either wild orange or lemon is wonderful. If you don't have an actual diffuser, as you saw, we all have one built in right here, so we can experience the power of that peppermint as it just soaks in and opens up your airways. It's also opening up your brain to receive new information and retain it so you can recall it later. That's why it's excellent if you're studying, doing homework, just learning new information. Always makes a great combination with a class or with work or study. So now let's move to our middle column and talk about essential oils. The second cool thing about essential oils is that they are effective. And I want you to turn your attention to the little cell diagram that's part of that center section. The little wavy lines there where it says essential oil with the arrow down, that represents a cell's receptor site. And then you can see there's a little creature hanging out outside the cell. That's a bacteria. And you might be able to recognize that guy hanging out in the interior of the cell. That is a virus. We've seen that little diagram quite a bit lately. And so a couple things I want to point out about this diagram. First is that there's just an incredible communications network that lives inside the miracle of the human body. And thank goodness we have what you might call an instant messaging system. And so, you know, if you're going to maybe lay your hand down on a hot grill or a burner on a stove, you'd like to know immediately that that's a bad idea. And we've all experienced that before. You get close to the heat source and something inside you says, stop, don't touch that. That is the first form of communication that we have going on inside us, and that's like an instant message. Now, we don't need to be told instantly every little message that helps our body function and live optimally. Most of the communication that goes on inside our body is delivered from the central nervous system to our individual cells by way of messenger. And these are hormones called ligands that move freely throughout the body, and they access our cells through those little receptor sites that's marked there, like where the essential oil is flowing. Now, the really cool thing about essential oils and how effective they are is that they actually, because of their chemical and molecular structure, they are able to gain access to the inside of our cells. And this is important because of all the amazing benefits they can bring. Of course, they can affect the bacteria and those things living on the outside of the cells, but they're also able to penetrate the cell wall and affect anything that's going wrong inside the cell, including a virus. Unfortunately, our modern medicines, which are created in labs, are too large to, say, cross the blood-brain barrier or flow freely throughout our bodies and access the interior of our cells. So they can only go so far. Beyond that, when they do function inside the body, they're not intelligent in such a way that they can distinguish between, say, good bacteria and bad bacteria. They're just going to wipe out everything in their path. And so if it's important to take a medicine, then we also know what we're signing up for. We're going to need to recover from that after it runs its course. Now, the exciting thing about essential oils and their effectiveness, I like to talk of just a little tiny bit of science here. There's lots of categories of essential oils, but I want to focus on three main categories right now. And the first one is the phenylpropanoids. And those types of essential oils clean the receptor sites. Again, that's the little place where you see the wavy lines of the essential oils accessing the cell. So if we have stress or if we have toxic buildup in our bodies, then our receptor sites can be clogged. And so not only are our essential oils not able to get through, but those messages, those critical messages trying to be delivered just naturally in the body can't get through either. And so when communication can't happen, then that leads to dis-ease in the body. So these phenylpropanoids are able to clean the receptor sites so that communication can flow, the essential oils can flow, and all kinds of goodness can take place. Now, the second group of essential oils I want to talk about are sesquiterpenes. And this group goes inside the cell and it can detect and erase or delete any bad information. So that's incredible. And then a final group is the monoterpenes. And they can also access the inside of the cell where they will reprogram and reestablish that cell to a healthy state. And so I want you to think about for a minute how grateful we are that the scientists in doTERRA are not just great aromatherapists. Now, as I'll describe to you the different scents and aromas of the essential oils that we'll experience together tonight, take my word, they all smell amazing, but they go so far beyond that. We are talking about oil chemistry now, and that's of equal importance to those who are putting together the blends that get to have doTERRA on their label. And so imagine if a blend, in terms of its chemistry, includes oils that fall into all three of those categories, then you may sometimes experience results that are not only instant, but sometimes permanent. And we love when that occurs. And so let me talk briefly about On Guard. This is an incredible blend. It's our immune support blend. It's really wildly popular right now. And I'm just going to breathe that in. And the best way that I can describe On Guard is warm and spicy. It's got clove and cinnamon, rosemary, eucalyptus, and wild orange blended together. And it just kind of smells like the holidays, you know, amazing food, cooking in the kitchen, and that perfect combination of sweet and spicy. It's just very homey and soothing type of blend. And you see the things on the screen that it talks about. Gosh, and we use On Guard in so many ways in our home. I would say this is one of my top cleaning oils. doTERRA has come along and created a whole line of On Guard products, and so I don't have to make them as DIYs anymore, but it can be used in your laundry, in your kitchen, scrubbing countertops and floors, washing the dishes, sanitizing your toilet and your sink and your floors in the bathroom. It just goes on and on how many things you can use your On Guard for, beyond strengthening your own immune system internally, but then cleaning those areas, those surfaces around you as well. So it's a highly versatile blend. And then let's cover the third cool thing about essential oils, and that's affordable. And I wanted to give you just a little comparison for food for thought. So let's consider ear discomfort. Almost every family has someone over the course of childhood and growing up who probably has experienced some ear discomfort. We tend to always have one in every family. And so I just find this a really relatable example to share. So I want you to imagine that someone in your family comes to you, maybe it's even you, and you've got this ear discomfort issue and you need to decide what to do about it. What if for 32 cents a dose, you could just grab your lavender and tea tree oils and put a couple drops on a cotton ball and nest it in your ear? So I want you to think about that whole concept of being empowered, and think of your child coming to you maybe with some uncertainty, a little bit of distress. They're experiencing pain, and they're looking for you to be a solutions provider for them. And you have this amazing opportunity to treat them with an essential oil, with your own loving touch. Maybe you're going to pray along with that. You get to stay home. You get to get comfortable in a space that you're highly familiar with. And you have that convenience of the process, from occurrence to deciding what to do to addressing the issue, all the way through recovery. You get to do that from A to Z in your space where everyone's comfortable. And so something we like to say in doTERRA is that with a book and a box, you truly have everything you need to solve at least 80% of the most common ailments that you're going to experience. And so in that environment, you're going to witness your healthcare costs go down. You can afford to have a lower deductible because you're just not using that insurance very often. And all the other costs that typically get counted when you have health issues, they're just going to in general go down. And in exchange for that, you're going to experience more health and more freedom. And so just in a quick comparison, let's look at if you were to follow a more traditional path. You're going to need to schedule a doctor appointment. You know, that same child comes up to you and you realize what's going on, or maybe it's the first time and you're not sure, and so you're going to schedule a doctor appointment. Then you're going to drive there. Hopefully they can get you in right away. If they can't, then there's going to be some waiting involved in figuring out how to manage pain in the meantime. Then you're going to arrive at the doctor's office and stand in line and pay your copay. And then you're going to wait in the waiting room. And then you'll get called into an office where you're going to wait. And hopefully they're going to come up with a diagnosis in a short period of time. And best case scenario, they're going to write you out a prescription for an antibiotic. We all know this drill. And then you're going to drive to a pharmacy and you're going to wait. And then you're going to pay more and you're going to pick up that dose of prescribed, probably antibiotic. And like I mentioned, with modern medicine, we know what we're signing up for. So in addition to addressing what's happening with the ear. We're also aware that there might be short or long-term consequences to using an antibiotic. Worst case scenario, we overused antibiotic throughout our childhood or early adulthood, and we end up in a place where our system becomes resistant. And so when we really need that type of medicine, maybe it's not available to us as much or at all. And so those are the kind of things that we just need to think about when we consider the full picture of counting the cost. And so in the end, we experience increased healthcare costs because we're using our insurance more. We are spending more on the medication, on the actual visit, etc. And we're becoming more and more dependent on the system because we use the medication, our immune system becomes more compromised. We then become more vulnerable to the next thing. And if we're not replacing and rebuilding our immune system with natural things, then we're just going to keep going around that circle and become less and less well and experience less and less freedom in that instance and just more and more dependency. And I don't think anyone wants to land there. So let's look at lavender and tea tree together. Lavender is on the screen for you, and I'm going to add tea tree because that was part of our example. So if you have lavender at home, I encourage you to grab your bottle and take a deep breath. I was so pleasantly surprised by our lavender when I first experienced it because I'm not a floral fan at all. And the condition that brought me to essential oils in the beginning was a skin issue. And I really needed this oil. And I thought, oh, what if I don't like the smell at all? How am I going to be putting that on my face daily? And I was so pleasantly surprised. When you smell pure lavender, there's not that artificial, overly floral, kind of weird, perfumey, almost an old lady, uncomfortable or metallic smell to it. It's just pure. It's so good. There's even a sweetness to it when I smell it. I absolutely love it. And so you can see what's on the screen there. I love lavender, as well as tea tree for anything skin. And I mentioned earlier, lavender in our home is essential this time of year as we face seasonal threats. So we combine lavender with peppermint and lemon for just wonderful relief. We all have, my husband, daughter, and I all have different symptoms, and it helps each one of us. And then tea tree I will throw in as well. And this one to me has more of a clean, bright, it just smells like you're about to get to work and defeat bad guys. I don't know, it just, I love to use this in cleaning my home as well. It just has this smell about it. Now, when I read the properties of this oil, maybe that'll help explain what I'm trying to get at. Like when I smell this, it's not like a floral or a citrus that I might just really enjoy smelling. When I smell this, I smell power. And so let me just read this short list of some of its chemical properties. It's analgesic, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-infectious, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antiparasitic, antiseptic, and antiviral. So that's quite a list, and maybe that helps you understand why I smell power when I smell tea tree. But it is absolutely amazing for anything skin, and it's a great purifier of the air. So love those two oils. All right, so let's move on. We've covered our 3 cool things about essential oils, which are that they're safe, effective, and affordable. So let's move on to 3 ways to use our essential oils, because we do not want to let these beautiful bottles just sit on the shelf. We want to open them up and use them every day so that we can function better, be our best selves, be empowered, like I talked about at the beginning. So aromatic is our first use that we're going to cover, and you see the beautiful diffuser pictured there. I also modeled our built-in diffusers that everyone has access to thanks to our wonderful little hands there. And so you can always use your essential oil aromatically, whether or not you have a physical diffuser. You can even just breathe it right out of the bottle. And after this slide, we're going to go over just a handful, just a few more essential oils that are going to help drive home which ones are great aromatically, topically, and internally. So stay tuned for that. Topical is our next way to use essential oils, and it shows a bottle of fractionated coconut oil there. It's a great carrier oil. And so I always like to talk about dilution when we talk about topical uses. And so first, just to back up, topically, you're just going to be as practical as you possibly can. So if you have head or neck tension, you're going to apply the oil on your head or neck. If you have an upset tummy, you're going to apply the oil on your tummy. If you have growing pains on your shin bones, you're going to apply the oil to your shin bones. So topically, just super easy. Wherever you're being affected, that's where you're going to apply the oil. And dilution in this case does not reduce the efficacy. We just finished talking about how effective our essential oils are. Diluting them is not going to interrupt that. It's just going to slow the absorption rate into the skin. So if by chance we're using something like one of the oils that we talked about already, peppermint might be very cool on the skin. On Guard might be very warm to the skin. Anyone like a child or a pet, or truly anyone who has sensitive skin, you would want to dilute so the absorption is slowed and they don't experience those oils to the full extent on their skin. They're still absorbing into the system. You're getting 100% of the benefit, but you wouldn't have that sensitivity on your skin. Another reason you would want to dilute is if you're treating a large area, like if you have back pain, you just need to use 1 or 2 drops of oil, but that would be difficult to spread over an entire back. And so you put those 1 or 2 drops of oil into your carrier oil, and then you have plenty to spread all over your back. And then let's finally look at internal uses. Now, you only want to use essential oil internally if it's doTERRA, because we already talked about our sourcing and our CPTG standard. We want to know that what we're putting into our bodies is safe. And so with doTERRA, you can rest assured that these oils are safe for ingestion. It shows a few ways there on the screen. In the little bubble, you see our veggie caps. So you can make a capsule with single oils or blend to take internally. You can even drink them in your water. I've got my new water bottle here, and it's got grapefruit in it. That's my all-time favorite citrus oil that I put in my water. So cheers. Drink up, sis. You want to make sure you're getting half your body weight in ounces at a minimum of water in your system every day. A great way to do that is to enhance it with an essential oil. It tastes amazing, and it's reducing the toxic load in your body, giving extra love to all your cleansing organs, and tastes great. And so I just wanted to point out, I want to make sure I'm showing the right part of the bottle here. If the oil is approved for ingestion, then it's going to say supplement facts on the side of the bottle. So that's what you want to look for. There are only a few doTERRA oils that don't have supplement facts on the side. And it's not that it's a poison control situation. It just means that they might not process the way you would like through the digestive system. And we don't want to cause stomach upset. We are looking for relief with our essential oils and support with our essential oils. And so we just want to be careful about how we treat our systems in our body and don't ingest anything that might be disruptive. So as long as you see supplement facts on the side, then go ahead and ingest your oils. All right, as promised, I'm just going to do a couple brief hits on a few more essential oils that I love. Here's lemon. You can see the word cleanse there several times. We'll just breathe that in together. And to me, lemon smells like candy. Oh my goodness, the pure lemon. It smells and tastes, I started to say taste, like there's sugar in there, and there's just not. Oh, it's so delicious. We used to do, I called it the lemon drop. on my daughter and my nephews when they were really little. So we would get some carrier oil in the palm of our hand and then just add 1 to 2 drops of lemon, depending on how old they were, and then rub that together and then just go all over their chest. If they had just common, that same crud that little kids just pass around, and they just want to be able to breathe freely and expel any congestion that was maybe creating a cough or any kind of discomfort, maybe disrupting their ability to breathe freely. We could put that on them and they just loved it. It was a little ticklish putting it on. And then they just loved the smell. They loved how it opened them up and just brought them almost instant relief so they could calm down and just get a great night's sleep. So there's a little bonus use for your lemon. It's great respiratory oil and decongestant. Frankincense, there's so many things I could say. If I was trapped on an island, this would be the oil that I would have with me. I call it Jesus in a bottle. I use it for my prayer and meditation times. And I just want to say a few words about that last bullet point there. And if you're not familiar with the life cycle of a cell, there's only a limited bit of language that I can use publicly. If this concept after I describe it is intriguing to you, then let's have a conversation offline. But for everybody's benefit, all of our cells have a life cycle. They're born, they carry out their purpose, and they function well for as long as they can. And when they reach the end of their useful life, they should go through a process called apoptosis and naturally die, so that there's room for new cells to be born and perform optimally until it's their time to die. Well, sometimes if our bodies are in stress, or if we've got some toxicity built up, then the cell doesn't process through like it should. And so what you end up with are some cells that should go into apoptosis and naturally die, but they don't. And so they're hanging around and they get into mischief. They become vulnerable to just a variety of attacks. And maybe they start doing the wrong thing, and then they multiply really quickly and spread all throughout the body, and that is not what we want. So oils like frankincense and lavender and pink pepper are amazing at supporting that life cycle of a cell, so that when it reaches the end of its natural life, and it should go through apoptosis, these oils support them in that process. So they go through their natural cell death and they don't live long enough in the body to start creating problems. So if that's of interest, let me know and we can talk more about that. But just know that frankincense is an enhancer. It makes any other oil that you use with it even more powerful. And it's just it's called the king of oils for a reason. It's definitely one of those oils that you want to have in your home and on you at all times. Okay, now we're going to go through, and I should say that lemon and frankincense are also wonderful aromatically. Now we're going to look at a few oils that are just so easy to use topically, and I won't have to say a lot about them. DigestZen is a combination of all of these calming, soothing oils. So you've got peppermint and ginger, you've got anise, and if you have something going on in your digestive system that you need to slow down or stop, or you have an issue in your digestive system where it's just not moving like you want it to, either way, this is your oil to bring about balance. And my personal favorite way to use it is just rub it right on the tummy. It just instantly cools the area. You can feel it like a little tingly. It just brings such great relief. Really in any way that you would need it. And then Deep Blue. This is your new best friend if you have any pain or inflammation in your body. So whether you're getting ready to work out, or you're recovering from a workout, or you're training, this is something that you can apply before, during, or after. And God forbid, if you're in an accident, you injure yourself in some way, Deep Blue is a wonderful oil to help the recovery process, just speed that along. Like I said, reduces pain, reduces inflammation. It's just a wonderful support oil, and you're just going to put it right on the location that's not feeling right. And this one has such a medicinal smell to me. It's got wintergreen and camphor and blue chamomile, and it's amazing for all things pain. And I think we've got maybe one or two more here. This is Breathe. This is also a great topical oil. So anything respiratory, you can just put it right on the throat, the chest, go all the way down, make sure you touch where your lungs are, and then you can just either breathe it out of the bottle or put some on your hands and breathe it in and just feel the combination of that aromatic and the topical relief working together. This definitely helps when we have seasonal threats this time of year, any environmental threats, anything that's going to attack the respiratory system. This can come along and support you and just open you up and help you breathe freely. And last but not least is Wild Orange. I love to talk about Wild Orange in a class. This is one of my very favorite oils. This is one that on these cool, gray, central Ohio days just lifts you right up out of it. Oh my goodness, we call this sunshine in a bottle, and it delivers every single time. I don't know if there's ever been a time that I've opened my bottle of Wild Orange and taken a smell and not smiled right after. You can't not smile right after you smell this oil. It's just amazing. And so you can use this one any way you want. You can diffuse it. You can put it on you as a perfume. You can ingest it. It's great to drink in your water or in a tea. You can even add this to coffee or hot cocoa if you want. It's delicious in recipes or truly any way that you want to use it. And it's just a very powerful mood shifter. And so I love it. You don't have to get fancy. You can just breathe it right out of the bottle like I just did, and it has an amazing impact on your mood, your emotions, your mental wellness. So it's a great friend to have on hand. I'd like you to take just a moment and think about, for you personally, what are your top health concerns or goals? You can look at it either way. Like maybe I have a concern such as I frequently get headaches, or I have some tummy troubles, or I've got issues with pain, or I don't sleep very well. So if you have some concerns like that, maybe stress, etc., whatever they are for you, feel free to list them out. Or if you prefer to look at it from the perspective of, I have some health goals that I want to work on. Like I want to be drinking more water. I want to be moving my body more. I want to manage my rest and stress better. I want to reduce my toxic load. Those might be some goals that you want to write down. Just encourage you to take a moment and do that. Just grabbing another quick drink of water. And while you work on your goals or concerns, I just want to tell you about one more product, which you might be surprised to learn is doTERRA's #1 selling product. More than any of our essential oils, this is what we're all buying. This is our Lifelong Vitality Pack, or LLV, as you see in the parentheses there. The benefits to taking these foundations of nutrition are as long as my arm, and I've experienced them all personally, but you can summarize with these top 4, and I'm even gonna like slip in a few. So energy, focus, and this category of relief is just huge. So think about pain, think about rest, think about stress, if you need relief seriously from anything, that's covered there, and then just your overall well-being. So you can see in the list there all of the things that are covered, and that's still just scratching the surface. So what are you getting with these 3 supplements? And this doesn't really do it justice. I would encourage you to look up my entire class that I teach, an entire 45-minute long class just detailing these 3 supplements and all the goodness that you'll find in the bottles. But the Microplex VMZ is what you would expect to find. It's a multivitamin. What's special about it is it's whole food sourced and it's bioavailable, so your body recognizes it as food and fuel. It knows what to do with it, and it puts it to work for you right away. Then the Z Omega, you probably would also expect to see. Those are your essential fatty acids. You're getting fish oils in addition to your land oils, because that's what we do. And then finally, the Alpha CRS Plus, it's just like nothing else available on the market. So it's that antioxidant, cellular energy, and longevity that you're just not seeing with your average supplement. So that's a real good place to start if you want to compare. But just have to mention those for my benefit and yours. So let's segue now into the end of our class with 3 ways to purchase the oils, because after we talk about this much goodness, you can't not want to have them in your home. And so yes, we mentioned retail because it exists, and I don't want you to think I'm not telling you about an option, but the reason why I mention it is that you may see it in professional settings, but that's not a way that I would ever recommend somebody buying the products. I would encourage you to focus instead on number 2, which is wholesale. And this is comparable to your Costco membership. You don't have to build the business or worry about any monthly minimums or requirements. It's just your all access pass to wholesale pricing. It's 25% below retail. You're going to get the best products for the best prices, all on your schedule, whatever you want, whenever you want. Now, if you want to up your game just a little bit, then I would encourage you to look at number 3. This is by far and away the smartest way to buy. And this is the way I buy my oils. But I still want to add the caveat that if you choose door number 3, you do not have to build a business unless you want to. But door number 3 gives you access to wholesale plus points for free products. So you not only get that 25% below retail wholesale pricing, but you also get to earn points for free products. So you can join the loyalty rewards program, then that's where some minimums kick in, but it's extremely generous. You can even earn points to get your shipping free every month. And so where do I begin? If I know that I want to sign up with my membership, what's the best way of going about that? Now, any of these kits, I'm just going to do brief previews for you, waive our $35 membership fee. So of course, you can pay the $35 and order whatever you want under the sun. 1 thing, 5 things, build your own custom kit. That freedom is there for you. If you'd like to see the $35 fee waived, then we've got some great options with these starter kits. And these are also priced below wholesale. And so when you choose a kit, you're actually saving, versus if you were to wait till, just sign up with your $35 and then buy this exact lineup later, you're going to end up paying a little bit more. So there's your incentive. And the kits are exactly what you need anyway. They're not weird. This one has our top 10 oils. This is everything we just talked about, plus a diffuser. That's your healthy start. This is healthy habits. If you're wanting to focus on your wellness lifestyle, this mentions a daily wellness plan. I have a handout that goes with this kit that tells you, here's what to do during different points of your day. And it actually checks off all the rungs on the ladder, or our wellness pyramid as we refer to it. So it's going to hit on nutrition, moving your body, reducing toxic load, managing rest and stress, and focusing on proactive self-care. Then this is our Healthy Essentials kit, and it also pairs a diffuser with 10 amazing oils. This goes a little bit above and beyond those top 10, and so we can talk through the features and benefits of these oils, and maybe they make a little more sense for you than the top 10. You're also getting all the 15 milliliter bottles here versus the 5s. So in this package, you're getting 3 times the oil for less than double the price, which is a really, really great value. Lots of people choose this kit when they're just getting started. This is the Healthy Home Kit. It mentions a non-toxic lifestyle. So if you're starting to look around your home and realize, oh, I use a lot of chemicals that, if I could just make some simple swaps, I bet I would be well on my way to a healthier lifestyle. This would be a great place for you to start. And then the Natural Solutions Kit, this is where my family and I invested. You get a little bit of everything. This is great for people who are serious about their health. I had been making so many bad choices and I was ready for a change. I decided to go all in, and I have never regretted starting with this kit. It just really armed me with everything I felt like I needed to get started. And then this is our Simple Solutions Kit, and it's meant to be customizable. You start with your Deep Blue Rub, Lemon, On Guard, and Serenity, which helps touch on most people's primary issues. So some pain relief, you've got your focus, cleansing, respiratory support, immune support, and rest, stress, sleep support, all gently covered with those 4 things there. And then you can add to it where you really want to customize for you or your family. And so there are some ideas there on the screen, our kids collection. And then if you want to target any of those areas in more depth, we can recommend the products that would be best for you. And then during this special season, I just like to bring up immune support. So maybe that would be an area that you'd really want to focus on. This is a great collection of single oils and blends to consider. You've got your wholesale prices there, so you can see some very affordable options. And I would say I would broaden the scope of this group of oils beyond immune support. You're also seeing excellent respiratory support and mental wellness there. And so these are all products that my family is leaning on right now and really benefiting from. And then beyond that, every month, doTERRA is very generous, and they treat us to promotions that are good for the 30 days. So here we are in May, 31 days this month to take advantage of these new deals. Now, the product of the month, that's available to members with qualifying orders, and we have a brand new oil this month, that's Citrus Twist. So if you're considering membership, that free product of the month is something that you can take advantage of once you're enrolled. Now, these 2 special kits, the Protect and Respond, are both offered at a great discount, even 10% below wholesale. They can be used as enrollment kits or loyalty rewards order kits, either way. And they're great combinations of oils, and the one comes with diffuser and the hand sanitizer, really practical and helpful right now. And then I just have to mention briefly this awesome new diffuser that we got. It started being available on May 1st. Great price point at $37.50. It's perfect to have at your desk or really anywhere. It moves with you. You can charge it up and then you can use it wirelessly. So if you move about your home, your workspace like I do, and you don't want to keep setting up just diffusers in every area, you can just get this one going and carry it with you. And as you can tell, it also fits conveniently in your cup holder. So when we're ready to jump in the car and go places again, this will be the one that we want to take with us. And I have received mine. I absolutely love it. The case is great. It's all environmentally friendly materials. It's just really great construction, perfect carrier, and you can put oils in there, and your adapter and your charging cord and everything you need fits in there. It's just a really great new diffuser. Okay, so this is what we're coming down to. This is the end of our class, and I just want to say that when we gather, there are typically three types of people. The first one is just people excited to start living a wellness lifestyle. Maybe you already are in some ways, and you're just ready to enhance that by using your essential oils. You probably wouldn't attend a class like this if you didn't fit into that first category. Then some of you have been sitting here thinking, oh, wow, my neighbor, I need to get a sample of that to them. Or, oh my goodness, I would love for my mom to be able to try this oil. If you've been sitting here with me thinking about other people that you would want to share with and you would want to bless with the gift of essential oils, these gifts of the earth, then you're probably going to be a sharer. And we can have a conversation about what that looks like and how you can ultimately get your essential oils paid for simply by honoring that desire to share with other people. And then finally, there are going to be a few of you who want to build a business. What I'm doing looks fun and easy, and you know you could do it too, and you're feeling that little tug in your heart. If that's you, then let's have a conversation, because I do have to share a little extra about that. If there was ever a time, and for me there really hasn't been, I love sharing about the business, but if there was ever a time where I might want to hold back or feel awkward about sharing the business, it's not now. I know there's so much uncertainty out there. There's been job loss, layoffs, just struggle in the economy right now. And I have to be honest and say that the last 2 months for me, I've received a pay increase. And while that's amazing for me financially, and I'm able to contribute more to my family and fill in some gaps, which has just been amazing, I'm also so highly encouraged, because what that means is that my bigger prayer is being answered, that more people during this time are prioritizing their health. They're getting more serious about investing in themselves, becoming empowered over their own personal wellness and, the health and wellness of their family. And so that is here to benefit every single one of us. So as more and more individuals and families say yes to taking an active role in their health, then they're going to be looking for people to guide them through, to teach them and do what I'm doing. And so if you want to join me in that, there are just so many benefits that await you, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. So where do we go from here? What do we do? I would love to hear from you. Please send me a text and do 3 things in that text. Of course, it's 3 things. First, tell me what type of person you are. Second, tell me your 3 either health goals or concerns. And then if you're ready to enroll, let me know the kit that appealed to you, or if you need help building a custom order. I would love to help you. So just to repeat those: number 1, which type of person are you? Number 2, what are your top 3 health goals or concerns? And number 3, if you're ready to enroll, which kit appealed to you, or do you need help building a customized order? And if I'm not the person who invited you to the class, then just pretend you don't see my phone number hovering there on your screen. And I want you to reach out to the person who's been teaching you and telling you about doTERRA. And I want you to connect with them for your next steps. And since I've asked you to do something, I want to honor that and let you know what I intend to do for you. This is what you can expect when you join Team Share and Shine and become one of my members. I'm going to gift you a beautiful welcome packet. You're going to get a personal wellness consultation where we'll sit down, we'll open up those oils that you just got with your enrollment order together. We're going to smell things. We're going to maybe make up a couple roller balls. We're going to dig in and make sure you understand what you have and how to use it. Then you're going to have access to education and training and ongoing support and this whole fun community that you get to be a part of. And we love to give things away and be generous and just have our oils flowing freely. So you get to be a part of all of that. And so I just want to say thank you. That is the presentation for this evening. I'm so glad whether you joined me live or were here for the recording, and just want to send you off. If you're here live, then I'm going to stick around for a little bit and answer any questions that you might have and then just enjoy a visit. If you caught the recording, then make sure you reach out to me or whoever invited you to get your questions answered and take your next steps. So to all of you, God bless you, and here's to your continued health and wellness.